Testing, mic check. Cinnamon buns, cinnamon buns, cinnamon buns. Hello, friendos. We're back at it again for yet another stream. But today's gonna be a bit different. We're gonna be speculating about the upcoming Arknights and Destiny 2 collab. Because I gotta put my shameful 1.8k hours in Destiny 2 to work. These shameful hours, I'm gonna try to use them, my limitless or somewhat limited knowledge of both games, combine them together into an amalgamation which we could make into a video. If you're watching this live right now, we're gonna be editing this down for next week's video. Our video did very well. Our last one, Arknights has a growing problem. It got picked up by the algo and was boosted to the Arknights community. So I was very happy about that. I definitely cooked on the thumbnail for that one. So yeah, today we're gonna be talking about Destiny 2. Everything that we could expect from the upcoming Arknights collab. I'm gonna be speculating on the story, the characters, the possible operators, the enemies, the skins, everything that we could possibly get from that collab. And unfortunately, unfortunately for Destiny is that collabs in Arknights are usually one way, so I don't expect anything coming to Destiny 2. My bar is very low. If anything, they might get Grimoire cards on the Arknights story. But I don't expect them to get a skin, any new guns, any new events. Nah. Bungie is probably too busy with seasons and the last shape, the final shape. So I don't think they got the manpower to make a full-fledged Arknights event in Destiny 2, nor do I think they planned for one to begin with. So that's a different conversation. But anyway, friendos, I'ma pull up Google. Hold up. Okay, so where do we begin? I guess this video is mostly going to be for Arknights players because, as I've already said, I don't expect Destiny 2 to get much. So, as an intro to the world of Destiny, Destiny 2 the world of Destiny, the universe of Destiny, takes place in an alternate timeline when the Traveler, a big orb thing, went to Earth and then it sped our progression. It pushed us into the Golden Age, and then we became Guardians to fight for it against the darkness. The story of Destiny is basically the story of the universal fight between light and darkness. It is between a circle and a triangle. That's basically the gist of it. It's kind of like Star Wars, in which there are good guys and there are bad guys, and sometimes maybe the good guys don't seem so good nowadays. People are losing trust in the Traveler. The Traveler used to be our benevolent, god-like entity, but nowadays it's more like, the big ball is kind of sussy right now. And that's where we're at in the current Destiny plotline, the current Destiny storyline. I haven't actually played Destiny in half a year. I haven't touched the not the Witch Queen. What's the current expansion? Lightfall. I haven't touched Lightfall in half a year. I haven't even started the campaign yet. I've just been doing other things. But I've been playing Destiny since Forsaken, and I've played every season since then. And then I took a break for half a year, and this is where I am now. Okay, so that's the gist of Destiny's world. We got the fight between light and darkness. Destiny is a very, very expansive universe. It's got a lot of bombastic, blockbuster feel to its main story, but it also has a lot of personal, very grounded stories hidden in its Grimoire cards. It's basically the lore cards in Destiny. So whatever Bungie can't fit in the main story of a campaign, they usually put in Grimoire cards, which is the lore cards, And that's where the side stories go. Destiny has a ton of side stories about all types of different guardians. And I think we should also start with there. What the hell are guardians? So guardians, like these people, guardians are basically the servants of the Traveler. The Traveler is the entity of the light, and guardians are basically its envoys, its guardians, basically. They are the protectors of the Traveler. They are the stewards of the light. They protect us from all the baddies that want to destroy the universe, the forces of darkness. And when it comes to guardians, there are usually three. Well, I think there are only three. To my knowledge, there are definitely just three because game mechanics wise, but 3 is a very important number in Destiny because it correlates to a lot of things within the lore, but Guardians are usually split up into 3 different factions. The one in the middle that we have here is a Hunter. Hunters are basically your rogue archetype in Destiny. They are basically the rogue archetype in Destiny. They are a free-spirited faction of Guardians. They usually do not like staying in one place at a time. They are explorers. They are natural adventurers. So they're usually off on their own, having their own shenanigans and whatnot. The one beside him, the one I'm pointing to right now, is a Titan. Titans are a faction of Guardians which are tasked with protecting the last city. So, after the collapse by the darkness, most of humanity got wiped out. And then they gathered under the Traveler for protection. And all those gathering, all those tribes after the apocalypse, they became the last city, the last bastion of humanity. Or so we thought, until recently. So the Titans are basically crayon eater, security guards, whatever. They are strong, they are big buff boys. They like punching things. They are the brawlers of the group. And then here we have the Warlocks. The Warlocks are basically the nerds of the Destiny universe. They are the wizards. They are the space wizards of Destiny. They usually go for more intellectual pursuits. Stuff based on gaining more knowledge against our enemies and whatnot. They are led by a lot of bald people. Yeah, they are that. Huh. If you think about it, they are led by 2 bald people. Osiris and Ikora. There are a lot of bald people in Destiny, actually. Wait, no, is everyone bald? Wait. Huh. I just thought about that now. Anyway, though. So Warlocks are basically the nerds of the universe. And these 3 are basically the 3 archetypes of Guardians that we'll see for most of the Destiny universe. And it's gonna be important because my prediction is that we're gonna have, at minimum and at most, 3 skins. 3 skins of 1 Titan, 1 Hunter, and 1 Warlock for the upcoming Destiny event, because it is going to be a missed opportunity if they don't. Now the question is, who will get these skins? But before we go there, well, let's go to the story. Okay, let's bring up some more different kinds of armor. Ooh, that's some Lightfall armor right there. Bald Arknight character when? It'd have to be a dude, because I don't think the Arknights community is ready for a bald female waifu. I don't think we're ready for that, and I think they're cowards for not being ready for that. Do we have a bald Arknights character? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, what's up SVA Beast? Welcome to our stream. We are speculating on the upcoming Destiny 2 collab. I just gave a short intro on the world of Destiny. We're gonna connect that into what I expect for the story that's coming for the Destiny collab, because I've been hearing conflicting things that, oh, it's just gonna be story vignettes, or, oh, it's gonna be a normal, full-fledged event where we get different kinds of enemies and new mechanics. I've been hearing conflicting things about that, so I'm just gonna be assuming that it's a full-fledged event. It'll be more fun that way if we speculate, assuming that. So yeah, So I just gave an intro on the basics of the Destiny universe. We got the fight between light and darkness. We got the 3 archetypes of guardians. So what kind of story will we possibly see when we have an Arknights collab? Arknights in itself is a story that is very much familiar with the concept of death. We have Originium and the catastrophes threatening daily life. We have rebellion movements that are always fighting against the status quo, fighting against the social injustices that they face. So death is a very common theme in Arknights. And death is also a very common theme in Destiny. Because the main defining aspect of what makes a Guardian isn't that they have the power of the light. Because no, they can have the power of the darkness too. That's not their defining factor. Their defining factor is that they can die and they could be revived. They are basically space zombies. So, Guardians are practically immortal in that when they die, they could get revived by their ghost and they could come back alive. To become a Guardian, one first has to die and then a ghost has to choose them to bear the light. And then when they first get revived, they lose all the memories of their past life and then they start anew. They're born again. So Destiny has a lot of stories involving Guardians that have died and become reborn as new people. An iconic character that we have right now is the Crow. I'm gonna pull up Crow. Let's get a bigger picture of him. So Crow, what do we say about Crow? So Crow basically was an old villain, which was the main villain of one of the past expansions, but after he died, and spoiler alert, Uldren Sov killed Cade, one of the fan favorite characters of Destiny, and then he got brought back to life as a Guardian, and he's had this whole story arc for the past few years of him as a new person, as the Crow, learning to become a Guardian, learning to adapt, and slowly become accepted within the Guardian ranks because in his past life, he killed someone very beloved to everyone. And for the past few years, he's had a very good story arc of becoming his own person, becoming his own Guardian. And death is very much an integral part of Destiny. And I think death should be the core theme when they're gonna do the collab. So imagine this. A Guardian falls into some universe wormhole because in the universe of Destiny, parallel universes are already confirmed. Parallel universes are pretty much a confirmation because we have a handful of characters that have come from different universes, like where's Elsie Bray? Elsie Bray? So Elsie Bray is a character from a different timeline in Destiny. She's from a timeline in where the darkness won over the light. And she traveled back in time to the current timeline of Destiny to make sure it doesn't happen. She's a time traveler. We also have this guy. Where is he? Xur. This tentacle-faced friendo is Xur. He hangs around and gives us loot, but also he's a multiversal being that works for the Nine. The Nine are basically a mysterious entity that overwatches the universe. They are kind of nonchalant about it. They just watch and wait and watch. They haven't really done much. But Xur knows about the multiverse. He's traveled around. Bungie's other properties, like Marathon, they're also technically in canon with the Bungie universe, so he knows all about those. So if we're gonna say that Arknights is a different universe that a Guardian can fall into, it's very much possible within the lore of Destiny. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Imagine if a Guardian falls into some wormhole and then ends up in the world of Terra. They have their ghost, they still have their light. It doesn't mean that they're disconnected from the Traveler. They still have all their powers. But they're one of the only people on Terra that is practically immortal. and can give us a very grounded, down-to-earth story about what it's like being immortal in a world that's so very familiar with death. Because the world of Arknights is very unforgiving. Lots of people die every day due to injustices or either just dying to oripathy. And the handful of people that we know in Arknights that are immortal are... Let's pull up Kelsey. Kelsey at Arknights. So Kelsey is one of the only people that we know in Arknights that is immortal. Immortal in that she could still die, but she can come back to life. She's been around for a very long time. But the problem with Kelsey's character is that she's a main character and that they can't go too deep into her without exploring the ramifications of what all that means. Like, she's a Pandora's box of exposition and lore. But the problem is, she has too much going on around her in that they can't really tackle her immortality in a more grounded fashion. It's always gotta be within the main story, it's gotta explain the world of Arknights and all that. So, she's a no-go. We can't expect Kelsey to have a more grounded story. There's also the Deathless Black Snake. The Deathless Black Snake. The Deathless Black Snake is basically an entity which has survived all throughout Terra. It is an entity that possesses people and it fragments itself, and that's how it makes sure that it could stay immortal for a very long time. And one of the people it possessed, spoiler alert, was Tallulah. And it also possessed... What's her name? I forgot her name. Anyway, it also possessed a Ursus teacher, who I forgot the name of. And he definitely has more fragments around Terra, and he's a villain. Oh, he is so a villain. We can't expect him to deliver the grounded story about immortality to us because he's a villain, and he's also very much involved with the main plot of Arknights. Anything they try to tackle with him has to involve the ancient secrets of Terra. It is way too much to tackle. It's a Pandora's box, just like Kelsey. So, the best character to actually give us that grounded story about death, immortality, would be a Guardian. Actually, the best candidate to give us that kind of story, because Guardians are just people. They're not gods. They are god killers. Some of them are so strong that they could kill, space gods. But Guardians are just people. People that just got revived by a ghost, they became new people, and now they have space magic. And they're immortal. So imagine this. A Guardian falls into some multiversal wormhole. They land in Terra. And then, what if they get infected with oripathy? Because Guardians themselves, even though they're practically invincible, no, they're practically immortal, they are not invincible. They could still die. In fact, they could... In fact, Guardians die a lot. They die a lot in PvP in the Crucible. And then they just get revived. It's pretty easy to kill a Guardian. It's a lot tougher compared to a normal person, but you could still kill a Guardian with like a headshot or something like that. So they're not invincible, but they are immortal. They will come back from the dead, but they can still die. So, what kind of story can we get from them? What if a Guardian gets infected with oripathy? And what if oripathy isn't affected by the normal Guardian healing? Maybe the Guardian has to live through a couple months of living with a terminal illness. That's a great story. That's a great premise because he could also be exposed to other infected, but other infected don't have the same kind of immortality that a Guardian does. So how do we tackle that kind of story where one person has a terminal illness, but they know they won't permanently die, and then they have to talk to people that will eventually have to meet their fate? I think that's a very, very complex premise to think about. It's very interesting. So we could tackle things like the meaning of life, how we find meaning in a very short one, or a one that has been unjustly cut short. So that's one kind of story I would like to see from the Arknights collab. Of course, we could have a big bombastic adventure, like what I assume for the Monster Hunter collab. We could be fighting something akin to Rathalos. We could bring Destiny villains into it. But what kind of enemies would they be? Okay, let's bring up Destiny's... enemies? Enemies? Because there are a few factions of Destiny enemies that we could bring into the Arknights universe. The problem is, some of them might actually destroy the place. Some of them are way too wild and rambunctious and could actually throw off the balance in Arknights. Let's bring up the Cabal. Cabal. Okay, so, the Cabal. Do I think the Cabal will show up in the Arknights collab? No. Absolutely not. They are not that interesting as a faction on their own. And if they're just gonna be used for enemies, there are way better enemies in Destiny that we could transpose into the world of Arknights. The Cabal are big beefy boys, which are kind of like a... They're kind of like old Rome. They're based off Roman centurions, and they're very warlike. So I think that's too much for a grounded story, especially in the world of Arknights. They have way too advanced technology. I think that'll just fuck up a lot of the world building that we already have. Who else? The Elixni or the Fallen? Let's bring up the Fallen. The Fallen right now in Destiny are in a very weird place because they're having their own redemption arc right now, because they used to be followers of the light until they got abandoned when the darkness came for the Traveler, and then the Traveler had to skedaddle and leave them to fend for themselves, and now they became they grew a grudge against the Traveler, and then they became enemies of humanity. But nowadays, they're sort of reintegrating back into the forces of light. So the Elixni, I don't think the Elixni would fit in an Arknights story collab. The Fallen won't fit. Because, I don't think these bug people would have... I don't think they would have as interesting of a story premise to be in Arknights. Because they're refugees, first and foremost. They're just struggling. They're pirates, they're refugees. We already have those in Arknights. It's called Reunion. So, I don't think it'll be a bit redundant to have them. But I say there's a slight chance that maybe a Fallen can appear. But it's not that likely. The two factions that I do expect could appear, one would be the Hive. Yep. So the Hive are basically, they're aliens. They're aliens that follow the sword logic, which is kind of like a bastardized version of survival of the fittest. They believe in that the person, or the race, or any entity that has the ability to best another entity should have claim over the universe. So they're basically like warmongers. They are very much warmongers. But the problem with them being in the world of Terra is that they might be a bit too much, but I can see them. I can see them like falling also into the wormhole, landing into Terra and being like, these arts users, they seem very strong. Let's eat them. I can see the Hive being an enemy because they have a lot of fodder units which can transpose very well to the Arknights game mechanics. Like this guy over here is a exploding thrall, or is it a regular thrall? It's a regular thrall. They're just your fodder enemies. Whereas we have a golem over here. Golems can be transposed onto our Colossus enemies. They also have laser eyes. They're kind of like Cyclopses. What else do they have? They have wizards. Where's a wizard? Wizard! Oh, here's a picture of a knight. They have knights. It could also be transposed into our Big Bob type of character. I mean, you could just give Big Bob a night skin and call it a day. It works. It very much works. Give Big Bob a night skin, and then there we go. We have our boss fight for the Arknights event. Wizard. Is there a picture of a wizard here? This is a wizard. Wizards are basically like magic users, as we get from their name. They are very scary. But the problem with the Hive is that they are kind of limited in their reproduction, in that if they did land into the world of Terra, would we be fighting a small contingency, or will we be fighting an entire army of Hive? Because Hive don't really... They don't travel in ones or twos. No, they usually come in a fucking ship. So, if there's an army of Hive that lands on Terra, that's kind of a big deal. It is a big deal for every single country on Terra. Let me just hydrate. So I'm about 50-50 on whether the Hive would be good enemies to bring into the Arknights collab. But it is possible. It is possible. They can find a way to make it work. I believe and trust in the writers of Arknights. The ironic part is, a lot of people in the Destiny community are very underwhelmed by Bungie's recent writing. A lot of the recent writing for the upcoming finale of Destiny is very middling. A lot of people are disappointed about it. So, the upcoming Arknights collab is going to be an unironic good story that will come out of this. Possibly the best story we'll get for Destiny in a while, and it's going to come from a gacha game, and that's gonna be a weird time for Destiny players, because Destiny players they have an aversion towards pay to win. So I don't expect the Arknights collab to attract like a good number of Destiny players, but I know personally that there's a good handful of Arknights players which already played Destiny, so whichever works. It is what it is. Okay, the last faction that we could possibly be seeing with the Destiny collab is the Taken. This is a good shot. So basically, the Taken is the Taken is like the main faction, the main army of darkness, which works for the Witness, the triangle ships that we have here. They basically take control of other factions and then they add them to their ranks. That's why they are called the Taken. They absorbed the Vex guy over here. We'll talk about the Vex later. They absorbed... That's a Guardian right there. So that's a Taken Thrall. They absorbed... I think that's a Hive Wizard over here. And that's a Cabal Centurion right there. And that's a Fallen... That's a Fallen thingy. Yeah, Fallen thingy. That's another Fallen. So the Taken, they very much can work in the world of Arknights, because it doesn't need to be an entire army that falls through the wormhole and lands on Terra. It could just be one entity, and then they could have the power to take. The power to take any person on Arknights or any entity on Arknights and then make them their own personal thrall. It'll be very easy to transpose those mechanics into the game mechanics and world building of Arknights. Are there any more pictures of the Taken here? Oh, that's a great picture. Yeah, the Taken is the main faction of the Army of Darkness. So, just have one big Taken boss land along with the Guardian on Terra, and they could make their own army on their own. If they attack a village, they could turn the whole village into its own personal army. And the Taken don't really have much motivation aside from the fact that they want to claim and destroy the light. As long as there's a Guardian here, they want to kill them. So that's already motivation enough to follow a Guardian into the wormhole. So the Taken and the Hive for me have the best chances of showing up in the Arknights Destiny collab? Def. 50-50, it's the Hive. 50-50, it's the Taken. But the Vex, though. The Vex is basically like a hive mind of... It's a hive mind of Radiolaria, which is like white living liquid. And the Vex aren't actually the robots, they're the white liquid that flows in their veins. They're nanobots. And then they use Vex constructs to move around. And what they basically want is the same along with the darkness. They want to rule the universe because they think they're the prime beings deserving of ruling the universe. They're also the same with the Hive in a sort of way. They're robots. They don't much have a personality to them. So they could just be, you know, mindless fodder, but they can't really connect with any big plot or any grounded plot about oripathy and whatnot. Maybe they could discover oripathy too, and then they could learn to weaponize it. That could be a thing. They discover oripathy. The enemies of humanity discover oripathy. They're like, hey, this is very dangerous. Let's weaponize it against the Guardians. And that could work. Because Originium is a very dangerous resource. It does not exist in the world of Destiny 2. If any of these fuckers decide that they want to harness the power of Originium, I could definitely see a world where we have Originium-powered Vex. That's kind of terrifying. Okay, now I'm convincing myself that Originium-powered Vex are very terrifying. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. So I'm 33% with the Vex, Hive, and the Taken. One of them could be the enemies for the Arknights collab. Yeah, okay. So, we got the enemies down. We got the main story premise. A Guardian falling into a wormhole, discovering Terra, maybe getting infected with oripathy, maybe not, but learning to discover the meaning of death and the meaning of life through interacting with people with terminal illnesses. I kind of like that story. So, what kind of characters will show up? Which Guardians specifically could show up? And I'm thinking this is gonna be a missed opportunity if they don't do a named and iconic Destiny character. So my biggest prediction of who will show up in the Arknights and Destiny 2 collab is probably Cade. No shot. No shot it's not Cade. Come on! Come on, look at that face. It's gotta be Cade. Because Cade has already died. However, Cade is an S-tier bullshitter. He himself has made up a ton of stories of all his adventures when he was still alive. He's got a ton of stories to tell. One story could possibly be that he fell into a wormhole, landed in the world of Terra for about a few months. It could work. He's already dead, so they don't have to worry about tying it into the current story of Destiny. So just bring him back to the past. Explore his past. What if he had an adventure in the world of Terra before he died? And because he's an exo, he has memory problems. What if he forgot about it when he comes back to the world of Destiny? It's very possible. So Cade 6 is my #1 prediction of a known Destiny character showing up on Terra in our Arknights collab. He is very funny. He's a smooth talker, but also people underestimate Cade. He's actually very smart. That's our Hunter Vanguard right there. Cade's my biggest prediction. He definitely has a very human side to him, which could lend well to a grounded story. He's already dead, so they don't have to worry about dangling threads about him in the future. They could just explore his adventures in the past. I also have a different prediction of who could show up. This is my crack prediction. But Saint 14. My crack prediction is that Saint 14, a guardian who's been trapped in a Vex labyrinth for most of his guardian life, his backstory is basically that he is a giga badass. He fights the Vex, and he was trapped in a labyrinth for a very long time where all he did was jump from simulation to fight the Vex inside of it. But what if, within the Vex labyrinth where he was trapped in, I forgot what it was called, the Infinite Forest? I think it was the Infinite Forest. He was trapped in the Infinite Forest. What if somewhere in the Infinite Forest was a portal to the world of Arknights? What if the world of Arknights is a Vex simulation inside of the Infinite Forest? That's also a good premise to bring the Vex in, to make them enemies in a collab between Destiny and Arknights. But this is my crack theory! This is my crack shot theory! What if the world of Arknights is a simulation inside the Infinite Forest? And then Saint 14, he jumps in, he lands in the world of Terra, and that... My brain is expanding. I'm growing new wrinkles just thinking about it. Hey, what's up, Cameron? Yep. So this is my out there theory on a character that could have a wild enough adventure in the world of Terra. Saint 14 himself is also a very human guardian. He lends well to a lot of human stories. But the question is, because the premise of our crack theory is that this happens inside the Infinite Forest, it's gonna be in Saint 14's past. So it's gonna have the same benefit of they don't have to worry about dangling plot threads with the current plot of Destiny, because it's gonna happen in Saint 14's past inside the Vex labyrinth that is the Infinite Forest. That's my crack theory. It's never gonna happen, but it'll be wild if it does. Also, he's technically a paradox because he died, then your character goes back in time and brings him back, yeah. That's also a good thing to point out, because Guardians themselves, they are paracausal beings, in that because they're blessed with the light, and or blessed with the darkness, they have the power to break the laws of the universe. So anything goes, really. If they go into the world of Terra, they start fucking shit up with the nature of reality, simulation and whatnot, it's par for course with Guardians. Guardians mess with the laws of the universe all the time. So, anyway. Oh, whoa. My monitor just turned off. Okay. Oh, it's back. It's back. Ah! My monitor keeps turning off. Hold up. What is wrong? Is it not getting enough power? My monitor just turned off. Hello? My main one just turned off. My second one is still on. I think... Oh! It's back. It is back. Okay. That was weird. That was weird. Yeah, so Saint 14 is my crack theory of who can jump into the collab with us. My more grounded theory is that it's gonna be Cade 6. Because Cade is already dead, so they could just explore his past. He's had a lot of adventures. Who's to say that he didn't have an adventure on Terra? For a couple months, or a few years. My other theory is that it could be Elsie Bray. Maybe we could see Elsie Bray, because Elsie Bray is a time traveler. Sounds like the Sui Sisters ability. Hey, what's up, Sansan? Welcome to our stream, friendos. We are currently speculating about the upcoming Destiny collab. If you're an Arknights player right now, we just got done with introducing the world of Destiny 2. We ran through a couple of the possible enemies that we could encounter. If not mechanical, if not gameplay enemies, we won't have a full event. Then at least enemies that'll show up within the story vignettes that we'll get. Because we're not really sure whether we're getting just story vignettes or a full-fledged event like the Monster Hunter event, so we're just speculating for fun, the whole thing, the whole shebang. My third theory is that the character that we'll be meeting will be Elsie Bray, the Stranger, the Exo Stranger. I wanna see that exo bussy come into Terra. Wait, what? Huh? So Elsie Bray is already she's already a time traveler. Like I said before, she came from a timeline in where the darkness won and humanity lost. She went back in time into the current timeline of Destiny to make sure that doesn't happen. She's already a time traveler, which means she's from a different parallel universe, so she already has the premise that she could jump universes. If she jumps another one, she could end up on Terra. Huh? Y'all feel me? Elsie Bray? Who else doesn't want to see Elsie Bray? Also, she has the benefit of being a waifu. Imagine an exo waifu on Terra in our gameplay screens. Imagine Elsie being snarky to you on your on your main menu screen. I would love that. Elsie, please come home. So, the exo bussy is gonna be one of my other crack theories that we could encounter. I don't really know how they'll fit her into the story. It could be just a fish out of water storyline. It could also be... It could also coincide with my grounded story theory where a guardian falls into Terra. They discover Oripathy. They learn a bit about life and death through interacting with people with terminal illnesses. Maybe the guardian can also get infected with Oripathy. And maybe Oripathy can't be healed by normal guardian means. And they have to live through it and then eventually they die. But they get brought back to life by their ghost. Oh wait, no. Elsie doesn't have the light. Sounds like another Calci. Yes and kinda no, because Elsie Bray, she doesn't have the light. I just realized that now. So in order for a guardian to be immortal, they need a ghost. The ghost has to revive them when they die. But Elsie Bray is a special case in that she doesn't have a ghost. She's not immortal. She has one life. Oh, that throws a wrench into things. Yeah, that definitely throws a wrench into things, so... Because of that, I don't expect that they'll use Elsie Bray. No shot. But she already has a premise that she could jump timelines and universes, so maybe? Possibly. Problem is, she doesn't have a ghost. She only has one life, so she doesn't fit within my fan canon, my fan prediction of what kind of story I personally want. But either way, she's a good character that you could bring into Terra. Okay. Is there anyone else I expect to show up? I know that Zer is 100% going to show up. This motherfucker. Zer, this guy, 100%. 110%. This guy will show up in our collab. 110%. 200%. No. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. This guy will show up in our collab. Zer is he's already aware of parallel universes. He just pops up whenever he wants. This guy is basically our what's his name? The vendor in IS? I forgot his name. Cannot. Yeah, Cannot. This is our version. This is the Destiny version of Cannot. He's our mysterious vendor that just travels from place to place, selling us wares. But he's also a multiversal being. So, maybe he's the one that brings a guardian into the world of Terra. This motherfucker is 100% showing up in our collab. No shot he doesn't. Okay. He could also be the reason why they show up in the collab. Maybe he could transport them to the world of Terra for funsies. He has his own multiversal game show that he hosts with the Space Horse. Where's the Space Horse? He has a Space Horse! Look at that! It's a Space Horse! These two... The Star Horse! These two host a game show! An intergalactic game show! With prizes and shit! They are for sure going to show up. I would lose my mind if Star Horse shows up in Arknights. But Zer is definitely gonna show up. for sure. Okay, so those are my predictions on the Destiny characters that can show up in our collab. I didn't choose any of the guardians that are mentioned in Grimoire cards because Grimoire cards are very esoteric, and it'll be a marketing fail if they don't choose an established character to market their game in Arknights. It has to be an established character, a face that Destiny 2 players are already familiar with. And the most familiar face that we have is definitely Cade 6. Cade 6 is my number one prediction on who will show up. He's already dead, so just give him an adventure in his past. That's it. You could write it, it's right there. Okay, we've discussed the world of Destiny, the premise of being a guardian, the fact that they're practically immortal, and that could lend to good storytelling about themes of life and death. They could meet people with oripathy and they could learn what it means to live by interacting with people with oripathy, or maybe getting infected with oripathy themselves. That's a good premise for an Arknights collab, something I expect from the kind of writing from Arknights. I don't expect I don't expect the collab to be a goofy event, just like the Lu Xiaohei event. But that wasn't really a goofy event. It was actually very, very dark and serious. It was about pets. It was very good. Another IS in the style of Destiny would also be great. Well, I would love that, but I don't think that would happen. Maybe in a different timeline that would happen. Okay, so we've talked about which Destiny characters that we could expect from the collab. But now we'll talk about the Arknights characters that we could expect in the collab. So I'm just gonna say it now. I do not think we're gonna get an altar. No shot. We're not gonna get a Guardian altar of any existing character in Arknights. Because on the fact that they have to die and be reborn without their old memories to become a Guardian. No shot that is happening. First of all, gacha games are very, they skirt around killing off any playable characters. They haven't even done it canonically to any of our existing characters at the moment. The only times characters have died, playable characters have died, is in IS3. And IS3 is not canon. So if this is gonna be the first event where they kill off an Arknights character just to revive them as a Guardian, with none of their past memories, no shot that's gonna happen. No. That is never gonna happen. We are not getting a Guardian altar of any existing Arknights character. It's a can of worms that I don't think the writers will try to tackle. But I do think we're gonna get skins. Skins of Guardian armor. Let's bring up the Guardian drip, baby! Let's bring up some Destiny drip, baby! Hey, yo, look at that! This is the armor set from, what was that called? What was that expansion called again? Shadowkeep. This is the expansion from Shadowkeep, where they fought the Hive on the moon. And this armor set is based off, Ye Olde Astronaut theme. So yeah, there are many armor sets in Destiny that Arknights could pull from to give us some banging skins. This is a PlayStation collab skin. It's based off Assassin's Creed and other games, so I don't expect them to use that. These are the Lightfall skins, which is more like guerrilla based. Moon's Haunted. Yep. But I'm gonna bring up the default armor of each main Guardian. So this is basically the default armor. Oh wait, no, that's the worn out version. Give us a version that's this one. It's different colors, but it's about the same. So these are basically the default armors in Destiny 2. It is like these are the iconic silhouettes that we have for the three main classes. So what I'm expecting is that there's gonna be 3 skins for 3 different Arknights characters. The problem is, we have to predict which Arknights characters would interact with the collab event to begin with. Because Schwartz got her skin when she interacted with the Rainbow Six event. Yato and Narkorn, they got their altars when they interacted with the Monster Hunter event. Suzu got her skin when she interacted with the Xiaohei event. So any Arknights characters that's gonna be part of the Destiny collab, they're the ones definitely that are gonna get the skins. But which one would they be? I have a list. So, I'm just gonna bring up the Iron Banner armor. So, the Iron Banner armor is based off a faction of Guardians known as the Iron Lords. The Iron Lords used to be one of the first factions of Guardians before they were even Guardians in the world of Destiny. They used to be mercenaries, they used to be warlords before humanity banded together. And the Iron Lords were like... They were the first people to get blessed with the light, and then they used their powers for very nefarious means. For personal means. So they're a very infamous faction in the world of Destiny. God damn, I love this Hunter armor. I've been rocking this Hunter armor for 2 years. I have never taken this off. I love this This is my armor. So yeah, the Iron Lords have a lot of fire skins. And they're based off knights. Who else in Arknights do we have that are based off knights? Thinking emoji? Iron Lord armor? Iron Banner armor? I wonder who we could put in this armor. Okay. Nope. Not that. Final Sylvestris. They're a knight faction. They are our knight operators. Imagine this, friendos. We have Final Sylvestris interacting with Saint 14? Or maybe Cade 6? And then they have to fight, I don't know, Hive? Or Taken? Or the Vex? And then they get given Iron Banner armor? Huh? Hold up. I'ma bring up the Iron Banner armor. And then put them side by side. Between Final Sylvestris. Open image. Display capture? Display capture. Does this work? Oh. Why is it not showing? Huh? Hey. Window. Position? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, there we go. Hey, yo, look at that. So imagine our girly knights over here in some Iron Banner armor. It works. It definitely works. So we already got our knights in Arknights. We already have our group that could potentially interact with a guardian that lands on Terra. Just put them in Iron Banner armor and call it a day. So, at minimum, I'm gonna be expecting at least and most 3 skins. 1 Hunter skin, 1 Titan skin, and then 1 Warlock skin. The Hunter skin most likely is going to be a Hunter. That would be very sick. I was looking at Arknights operators the other day, and I was trying to think who would fit the most for Hunter. And the person with the best silhouette that matches a Hunter would be Fartooth. Fartooth Hunter would be fucking sick, dude. Oh my god. Sona can also be a Hunter. And, what's her name? I forget her name. The Fortress Defender? I forgot her name. Anyway, the Fortress Defender, she could definitely be in a Titan skin. But the problem with Pinus Sylvestris is that there's no one that distinctly fits the Warlock skin. So I can't really imagine any of the Pinus Sylvestris wearing Warlock armor. It is too much of a robe rather than conventional armor. But that's one of my theories, in that it'll be Pinus Sylvestris interacting in the Arknights collab. My other theory, and this goes back to the Iron Lord thing, is that this is my crack theory. No, I'm gonna do some foreplay first. I'm gonna do some foreplay first. I'm gonna say Arknights, Mudrock. Mudrock, she definitely does not deserve any more skins. However, she has way too many skins where she is undressed. Hypergriff, I love you, but she has way too many skins where she is not in her badass armor. Put her in some armor, for God's sake, because armor is sexier than whatever melon she has underneath. That's my base take right there. I'm gonna pull up a picture of Saladin. Where's Saladin? Here. Yeah, Ashlock. Ashlock was their Fortress Defender. Imagine Mudrock in some beefy Titan Iron Lord armor. Hypergriff, I make a proposition. You can give Mudrock her 69th skin. However, you gotta put her in some full head-to-toe armor. Keep that beefy silhouette. Because I wanna see her in some badass-looking gear. Her boobas are nice and all, but I wanna see her rocking out like the badass that she is. So, this is my plea to Hypergriff. Maybe Mudrock can interact with the Guardians. That's also a very good... She's also a very good candidate to interact with the Guardian and discuss Oripathy and the struggles of having Oripathy. So Mudrock is a good candidate to interact with the Guardian to talk about those kind of grounded themes. They might think she's crazy because she talks to rocks, but she could summon colossal mud golems, so they could probably impress her, and she could probably impress them. Mudrock in some Iron Banner armor? S tier. Probably not gonna happen, but maybe there's a slight chance it could happen. However, this is my crack theory. This is my crack speculation now. We're heading way deep. This is gonna be amazing. Where's, what's his name? Hypergriff. Hypergriff? Put this man's in some armor. Put the Shining Knight into some Iron Banner armor. Look at him! Put him in some Destiny 2 Titan drip. Make him wield his sword and let him swing that around. Because holy hell. Hypergriff, put him in some Iron Banner armor, please! Please, Hypergriff! Mjolnir. Mjolnir, of all the people in Arknights, I think deserves Titan armor the most. He's, his current silhouette is that he's wearing fabrics, so a skin where he finally wears some armor would be very refreshing. it would not only be very badass, but also we could get a glimpse into what he was like when he was the strongest knight in Kazimierz. Technically, he still is the strongest knight in Kazimierz, he just has to wear some knight armor. Hypergriff? He has to wear some, please. Please, give us some fan service, please. Don't put him in a biker jacket, put this man's in some armor. Like so. What other Iron Banner armor is there? Saladin is the most iconic Iron Banner armor. Who else? So yeah, that's that. This is my plea. This is my begging. Hypergriff, put Mjolnir in some armor. It'll please the ladies, it'll please the gays, it'll please the NBs. Please, Hypergriff. I propose. Okay, so that's with Titans. So Titans could have Mjolnir, they could have... what's his name? Mudrock, and they could have Ashlock. Give them a Titan skin. Now for a Hunter skin... For a Hunter skin, we have Fartooth. Fartooth of every single character in Arknights, whoops, is the one I think the most has the best silhouette for a Hunter skin. As I've already said, Final Sylvestris interacting with a Guardian would be very cool. I'm gonna pull up some Hunter armor. Nope, that's way too low quality. Hunter armor, Hunter armor, Hunter armor. Ooh! This one has a female character, so it is already matching. Yep! Definitely. Fartooth has the best silhouette for a Hunter and Hunter robes. She already practically acts like a Hunter already. I would adopt her within the Hunter Vanguard. What other Hunter armor is there? I'ma look for some more. And this is mostly just Iron Banner stuff. There is way more creative armor in Arknights. Or they could just go with what I predicted would happen the most, is that they're just gonna give default armor to Arknights characters. They're not gonna make them Guardians, but they can wear the armor. Destiny 2 default Hunter armor. Yep, there's the one. Why is it so small? Yeah, I could definitely see Fartooth wearing Hunter armor. Definitely. One other person I think could be part of the collab is Greythroat. What? Greythroat? She's a 5-star. Yes, she's a 5-star, but also I think she also has a great Hunter silhouette. Look at that, friendos. It's practically the same color scheme. Greythroat is practically a Hunter right there. She just needs a Hunter cloak and a mask, and she's a Hunter already. So I think Greythroat would also be a good candidate to put in the collab. One, because she's an infected racist in that she is very discriminatory towards infected people, and that along with meeting a Guardian, which could be infected with Eripathy, they could bounce off each other really well and discuss how they view life and death, as one person is practically immortal, the other person is mortal, but they hate people that are terminally ill. It could be a very interesting story to put an infected racist together with someone that's practically immortal. I'm just saying, it would be a very interesting story. What about Ranger? Ranger? Could Ranger be a part of the Arknights collab? Ranger. Let's bring up Ranger. Whoops. Nope. Ranger. Yes, Ranger could get a skin, but the problem with that is I think the Arknights player base is going to be disappointed if Ranger doesn't get an altar. And I've already said that there is no shot, there is 0% chance that we are getting an Arknights altar as a Guardian because a Guardian needs to die first and then have their memories erased. But the good thing about Ranger is he doesn't have a lot of backstory to begin with. The bad thing about Ranger is he's... I think he's Lowlight's OC. So, I don't know with Lowlight. Would he want Ranger to die and then be revived by Ghost and become a Guardian? Is he that much of a fan of Destiny 2? Death is a very delicate subject when... Death is a very delicate subject to tackle in Arknights. And especially because they haven't even canonically killed off any playable character, only in IS3. So, if Lowlight kills Ranger as the very first playable character to die, that's gonna be a big thing. I don't expect it to happen. It's an interesting take, but I don't expect it to happen. Hey, what's up, Z-san? Greythroat learned racism was bad, she's changing, you swear. Also, hi. Hello. I think it's an interesting take. Ranger dies, becomes the Guardian, because he doesn't have that much backstory to begin with as a 2-star. But death itself, it's very touchy in Arknights. I don't think Ranger would... I don't think they're gonna make any altar as a Guardian. No shot. But that's me personally. That's how I see the writing in Arknights. I respect the writers in Arknights enough to know that they won't treat death like it's some minor thing. They will always treat the topic of death with a certain respect. They haven't brought back any character from the dead that does not fulfill a very important role in the story, Kelsey being one of the only, because she's also practically immortal. But we already discussed that near the start of the stream. How, yeah. No shot. They're not making any Guardian an altar. Any Arknights character a Guardian altar. Beagle? Beagle is implied to have a death in the future of the storyline after the main story. Like years after when her squad becomes more experienced. It's implied that Beagle dies. The problem is... Beagle as a Guardian? Oops. I keep bringing that up. Beagle could become a Titan, but who's gonna teach her how to become a Titan? There's a lot of... It's a whole can of worms. Beagle gets revived as a Guardian. She loses her memories. She doesn't recognize any of her old friends. She has these weird powers. She's suddenly immortal. It's a lot of can of worms to inject into one character. I don't think they're gonna do it. Also, they have to do Beagle's death first. Like, before they even revive Beagle, they have to tackle her death. And I think that's way too much to... That's, way too much plotlines intertwining with a single collab plotline. I don't think it's happening. Beagle's death will be its own thing. It's probably gonna be its own big event. I don't think it's happening during the Arknights Destiny collab. No shot. Okay, so, we discussed Titans and Hunters. We haven't discussed who could possibly get a Warlock skin. I looked at all the characters in Arknights, and my biggest prediction would be, if anyone's gonna get a Warlock skin, it's probably gonna be Evan Holtz. No shot it's not Ebenholz. Ebenholz is the closest thing that we have to a wizard in Arknights. If anyone's gonna get a warlock skin, it's gonna be Ebenholz, but he doesn't seem to be the type to wear armor. But the warlock robes are more robe than armor, so it's a possibility. It's not a 0% chance. It fits. His silhouette fits with the silhouette of a warlock. I'm gonna look for some warlock skins that we could possibly put him in. So these are a couple warlock sets made by players. It's just mixing and matching armor sets, but I think it gives us enough of a gist of what Ebenholz could look like inside some warlock robes. It could work. I mean, he already has... Wow, I didn't realize the silhouette fits that much. Oh, I mean, just turn him to his side, make him face front, and he's got the silhouette of a warlock. Definitely fits. Would they give Arknights operators exotics? Exotic armors? I don't think so. I think that's way too much. Exotic armors are... I think they're 1 in a million. Within the gameplay of Destiny 2 exotic armor, there are many exotic armors. But I think within the lore is that there's only one of each. I don't think they'll give exotic armor to any Guardian skin, any Arknights skin wearing Guardian armor. And so far, I think Ebenholz would be the best for a Warlock skin. Any of the other casters that we have could also get a Warlock skin. Amiya could get a Warlock skin. She's also very fitting to get one. Would she wear robes? I think that messes with her silhouette as a cute bunny girl. But I could be wrong. She could also wear a Warlock skin. She gets a lot of skins to begin with already, so... never cutting down that option. Okay. I think... that should be it, unless there are other Arknights characters which we could put a Warlock skin onto. I'm gonna just skim through the... flashbang! Let's skim through... Casters. Who could we give a Warlock skin to? Lyn? Nah. Harmony? Nah. Minimalist? Too short. Astigene? Nah. Ebenholz? Pretty much. Golden Glow? Can't imagine that. Kiera? Nah. Pudding? No. Corsarum? Nah. Carnelian? No. Indigo? Passenger? Passenger could get a Warlock skin. He's already a Grand Wizard. Oh yeah, he could definitely get a Warlock skin, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Okay. What else? Iris? Lava? Nah. We don't have a lot of 5 stars or interesting 5 stars or 6 stars that really matches the Warlock aesthetic. Ifrit? Nah. Yeah, not a lot. Ebenholz at best. Anyway, I think that should be it. Oh yeah, this skin is beautiful. God damn. Wow. That is a beautiful skin. Put this man in some armor. In some Warlock armor. Call it a day. So yeah. I think that should be it. We discussed the world building of Destiny 2. How it could fit within the storytelling of Arknights. Guardians themselves have practical immortality. So they could be very much intertwined with the themes of life and death. Terra itself is very much familiar with life and death, being a world where oripathy and catastrophes shorten the lives of everyone living on the planet. And social injustices also shorten the lives of everyone living within a city. The story could possibly be a very grounded, down-to-earth story about a guardian learning about oripathy, learning about life and death through people that he meets with oripathy. Maybe they could contract oripathy. Maybe Cade could if Cade shows up or Saint 14 shows up, starts learning about oripathy in Terra before they come back to the Destiny 2 universe, I think that'll be interesting. Characters that could show up. Number 1 prediction is gonna be Cade 6 for marketing reasons. He already has his story has already been finished on a technical level. He is technically dead at the moment, so they could just insert his adventures on Terra into his past. Saint 14 is my crack theory on who could come to the collab. Arknights could be Arknights could be a simulation within the Infinite Forest where Saint 14 was trapped inside of. That's my crack shot theory. Elsie Bray. We could see Elsie Bray traveling different timelines before she ended up on the current timeline of Destiny after traveling from her doomed timeline. Maybe she could pop into the world of Arknights for a little bit. She already has good premise for that. Xur's gonna show up because that tentacly faced fuck is just everywhere. He's a multiversal being, and I want to see the Star Horse appear on Terra. What else? The operators that we could predict to interact with the operators that we predict to interact with the Guardian could possibly be Pinus Sylvestris because they're knights. They could fit very well in Iron Banner armor. They fit very well in Titan and Hunter gear, Fartooth, Sona and Ashlock specifically. Ah, fuck it. Give Justice Knight a ghost skin. Why not? Give Justice Knight a ghost skin. When it comes to skins and altars, I don't predict that we will ever get a Guardian altar of any character because it's just a bag of worms to unravel. A character first has to die, and then they get revived by a ghost, and then they lose their memories, so any backstory that they had before is just gonna be moot. I don't think it's good writing to just rewrite a character that way to make them a Guardian. So I think I think Arknights characters are just gonna get skins at best. An altar, no. Playable character? Maybe. 50-50 we might get a playable character in Cade 6, Saint 14, or Elsie Bray. And the enemies that we fight, I'm on a 1 out of 3 chance of it could either be the Hive, it could be the Taken, or it could be the Vex. So yeah. Those are my predictions, my speculations, my crackpot theories on the upcoming Arknights Destiny 2 event. I have 1.8k hours in Destiny 2, shamefully, to make these predictions. If they're wrong, they're wrong. It is what it is. But if they're right, I'm gonna be very smug about it. For the next year. For the next few years. I expect a grounded story because I trust the world of the writers of Arknights. What are the odds of Destiny getting some Arknights-based Eververse stuff? The odds are slim. I say Destiny 2 will not get any full-fledged event from this. No shot that's happening. Bungie is working their asses off on seasons. They're working their asses off on the finale of the Light and Darkness saga, coming with the final expansion of this saga, which is the final shape. They're way too busy with that. At best, we could get skins, but that is very unlikely. Arknights has always been a one-way street when it comes to collabs with big games. Rainbow Six did not get anything from Arknights. Monster Hunter did not get anything from Arknights. I don't expect Destiny 2 to get anything unless times change. There is always a possibility. Maybe at best they could get Grimoire cards, lore cards that they could unlock for when a new season comes that could explain the Arknights collab, but within a Destiny context. Lore cards are basically just small unlockables that you have in Destiny 2, which have side stories that people could unlock and read. It's not really a big, full-fledged event. At best, they're gonna get lore cards. The copium is that they get skins from Arknights. I don't think that's happening, sadly. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, friendos, I feel that this was a good stream. If there's anyone tuning in right now, I am going. Feel free to watch the stream from the start, where we go through all the things in chronological order. I am going to edit this stream down into a video, which I could throw into the algorithm for next week. I was very happy about our previous video, which I just rambled on stream for. The growing problem with Arknights. It did very well on Arknights YouTube. I got a shout out from Kaiser on his stream when I popped in. Very good. Anyway, friendos, that'll be it for me now. That'll be it for me for now. I'm a peace out. Thank you for watching. Thanks to SVA Beast, Cameron, Sen, Z-san for stopping by, contributing to the conversation. And I'm a peace out for now. I'ma see you all next time. Once again, my name is Nez, and thanks for watching. Bye, friendos!